Yeah. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Bolt City Podcast. Dave Palais, Josh Palais, Mario Heron. Game just ended as the Chargers lose on the road to the Chiefs 31-17. Always makes me laugh, guys, that we jump right into this when emotions are extremely high, very raw. Everyone's a little bit upset, but I'm sure at the same time, the people are running to the show thinking the same thing. They're upset. Emotions are high. And again, everything is very raw right now as the team falls to 2-4 on the season. And Josh, we'll start with you. When you look at today's game, was it better than the performance they put out on Monday against the Cowboys?
Welcome, everybody, to the fourth Charger therapy session of the season. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be. Honestly, the team cannot put a full game together. It doesn't matter if it's the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Titans. The Chargers cannot put a full game together. Offense looks absolutely unbelievable in the first half, does a disappearing act in the second. Defense, obviously the opposite of the offense. One half looks good, the other half looks bad. I'm super frustrated, guys. They always tell you don't go to the grocery store when you're hungry. I love doing podcasts when I'm angry. So this, whatever you're supposed to do podcast wise, I think we're doing it the right way because these are true emotions. I know all Charger fans feel the same way. I don't know how I feel about this team and Justin Herbert, Mario. I'm so frustrated.
I want to know what time Mahomes picks up Staley from day camp, from his babysitter. Because that's just what I felt like today. I mean, he owned Mahomes. Mahomes owned Staley every step of the way, the whole day. It is not a rivalry. It is not who is going to win this division. It is always the Chiefs, and it's going to be Chiefs for foreseeable future. I'm with you, Josh. I lose more faith in this team day by day, and you hinted at it. When the defense gets hot, the offense gets cold. When the offense is hot, defense is cold. I just said the same thing. Whatever. Look, my brain's not working. But it's matter of fact is anytime the offense steps up, defense steps down. Defense steps up, offense steps down. They don't play a complete game. And that's what's holding them back. Is they can't play a complete game. Some guys didn't show up to play today, and it leaves you kind of clueless. I know, Dave, this probably sent you, but it's like, how 2 weeks in a row do we have guys not getting up for a Monday Night Football game and a divisional game? Couldn't be too easier game to get up for, am I right?
I feel that way, but then you know what? At the same time, let's give these guys credit. Maybe this is the best they can do. Maybe this is what it is. This is the best they can do. If you can't get up for a game against the Cowboys on Monday night or a game against the Chiefs in Kansas City when the crowd's the way it is, hell, Taylor Swift is there. How can you not be ready to play? I believe, honestly,
she was there? They never showed her.
She was there. Oh. There you go, Mr. Sarcasm on the first go around. I got no time for sarcasm today, Mario. All right, I'm at my wit's end right now. Save it. So here's the deal. This is what this team is, guys. I honestly, I'm just not impressed. Talent for talent, not impressed. And I don't know if it's talent for talent or if it's the coach that brings out the worst in these guys. Just don't know. And I'm telling Josh, I'll let you go in 1 second. But I'll tell you what bothers me the most. All right, just right off the bat. I don't know how you have a quarterback that's a giant that gets so many balls batted down. I can't take it. Hey, look, man, you're a big dude, play big. Small guys play big all the time. You're a big guy that plays small. Stop. I don't understand what the hell's going on when you have chances to score, whether it's just getting 3 points, taking advantage of it. You can't score in the second half. I don't know what the hell said at halftime. Throw that speech away. Another one. Feel like DJ Khaled here. Another one because you guys don't score. Whatever you guys do at halftime, it doesn't work. Do something else. I can't take it. And it's driving me crazy to the point when the game's over and I watch from the same seat I'm sitting in right now, I just walk down the hallway and I'm like, I hate football. I hate this. And I'm like, the NBA starts on Tuesday. Well, Lakers probably get their asses kicked against the Nuggets, but I need something to look forward to. And it was supposed to be this fall. I think I gave this team 3 losses to start the season. Dude, they got 4. It's October. We're not even on Halloween yet. I'm going to jam my head right into the freaking wall for being the dumbest guy on the planet and telling you people you should believe what I say, that I'm all in on this team. I am all out on this team. Right now, I'm telling you, I don't know what the hell is going to happen. And next week, when I thought it was a cakewalk on NBC against the Chicago Bears, dude, I'm not so sure. I'm just not sure what the hell is going to happen. because, man, they will not fire Staley. Kellen Moore's a goddamn joke. Overrated as hell, man. The Cowboys knew what they were doing. And so I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say about this team, except right now you guys have made my fall completely miserable. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Like, let's start with Kellen Moore. Okay. First half, you're like, this guy is awesome. The creativity's here. He looks like Andy Reid. You're pumped up. And then he just loses whatever the hell he had going in the first half. In the second half, he's like, dude, all my good plays I already showed him for the first half. I'm sorry, guys. I did it again. I have nothing for the second half. It's incredible how the Chargers had the most simplistic offense in the second half, where it's like, we're going to run it here for 2 yards to Austin Eckler because there's nowhere to run. We're going to have Justin Herbert step back to look for a guy going 40 yards down the field when he has no time to throw the ball. I mean, there's nothing the Chargers do that makes any sense ever. For God's sakes, Travis Kelce is really good. I think my girlfriend knows that. She doesn't even know football. 87 is really good. Let's guard that guy. Let's guard that guy. I think he broke his own record today from the most yards in the first half ever against any team. I think it was 143, I believe. That is unbelievable that you're going to let a guy have 143 yards in the first half when the next closest receiver talent-wise is Valdez-Scantling. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. What is the game plan going into this crap? Sky Moore, Valdez-Scantling, Kadarius Toney, McCole Hardman. How about we let those guys beat us? Because they have one playmaker on that team, and it's 87. Yet we're not going to guard 87. And I don't understand anything the Chargers do. Joey Bosa, a complete no-show again, has one tackle again. Dude, if you're not healthy, just don't even play. You're just hurting the team at this point. The Chargers have so many guys that don't show up when it matters, from the coaches down to the players. It is incredibly frustrating. Brandon Staley's, coin defense, the bend and break defense that he runs is awful. I don't understand anything that he does. Any of the play calls, he's so bad, dude. All the coaches disappoint me, and most of the players completely just disappoint me, Mario.
Kellen Moore was like Bill Murray in Space Jam. First half, killed it. Bill Murray comes in for a play, killed it. After that, I'm good, guys. That's all I got. I'm dead tired. That was Kellen Moore. I'm good, guys. I got you the first half. I gave you everything. I'm good now. Like, I'm dead tired. Like, that's what it really felt like. And it was just brain farts on the offense, right? Like, they did the motion that we've seen from the Dolphins and the Niners that they've done this year, right? Where you take your fastest guy, you put him in motion, say hike, and then they go. And, the corner's at disadvantage because the fastest guy's got a head start on you and you're in a tough spot. They do it with Darius Davis. Darius Davis takes off about 3 seconds before the ball's even snapped, and then we get a penalty. And instead of looking smart, you look like a complete idiot. And it's just one of those things. It's like, how can we not get this right? And I don't know who would blame that on either, right? Is that on Darius Davis? It's really hard to hear that snap count, And I've been guaranteeing practice. So, like, hey, when you hit here, just go up. So I'm going to guess that timing's probably a little bit on Herbert, right? Like, you got to read that as a quarterback. The defense, I mean, that first half, it was like the scouting report was, we're going to take everyone away and we're going to make Kelce beat us. Like
just the opposite of Belichick. Just the opposite.
Yeah,
Belichick's
literally.
always done, right?
It's like the coach of, it's a strategy of, they really think this guy's the best, huh? You really think? Show me. Here's one-on-one coverage for you. It's like, all right, he showed us. He showed us. He showed us. We held his hand after, and we said, okay, Daddy, we're going to go home now. That's what we said. It was embarrassing.
All right, so the one guy I'll give credit to early because people go, man, you guys are so damn negative. Joshua Palmer stepped up today, right?
Yes.
5 receptions, 133 yards, stepped up. I mean, it was like, wow, this guy, for people who didn't know how good he was, that was outstanding to go, hey, this guy can actually play at times. He did it against the Falcons last year, and you're going, this is what this team needs. Now, the game started off, guys, exactly the way I think all three of us thought, right? We'd go pound for pound with these guys, punch for punch, go all the way through, and then we would, lose in the last minute. And, yeah, they lost, but when it was 31-17 and the Chiefs started to break away, it was frustrating to realize nothing's happening in the second half. When they got the 0 in the third quarter, you're going, wait a second, how did this just happen, or why is this happening? This team was able to run the ball for more than 100 yards today, which should equal a win in the NFL, but it didn't, and then at the same time, what is Justin Herbert? For people who said you guys are 100% wrong for everything negative you said about Justin Herbert the other day about not being, a guy that has gotten better through his career. Well, what did Justin Herbert show you today? He showed you exactly what he's been showing you for a long time. He doesn't come through at the end of games. He's not that guy that sits there and puts those drives together. It feels like he's in control. And going to what you just said, Mario, look, Bill Belichick won his 300th game today. You know what his strategy has been during those 300 wins? I'm going to take away what you do best. That's it. So his plan would be to go after Kelce. The fact is, Josh just said Kelce set a record today, and Kelce's injured. Don't give me excuses about Joey Bosa's playing hurt. Everybody hurts. I got it. It's the NFL. Everybody is hurt after day one of training camp. Nobody's 100%. But Bosa, as Josh said, had one tackle. You know how much money he got today for that one tackle? $500,000. $500,000 for having one more tackle than the three of us. And you go, dude, you're getting paid this money to perform. This isn't a shot of me going after you because you had a bad game. You haven't had a good game. You haven't had that crazy, even Khalil Mack game. Not many people do, but you don't have that game. When I say Joey Bosa, tell me his best game, where do you guys start? Because guess what? It's not like you have 52 games to choose from. I don't know if you have 3 games or 2 games to choose from where it stands out. Man, remember that Joey Bosa play? If I ask you right now, give me your favorite Joey Bosa play in his career. Do you have one? No. That's my point. Okay, so look, people aren't going to like this at all because right now this team is 2-4. And if you aren't going to buy because you think you have a chance of making a run at the postseason and you're looking to sell, man, they have major contract problems coming up with this Charger team of guys who make a tremendous amount of money that you can't afford to keep anyway. So do you trade a 31-year-old Keenan Allen? Do you trade a Derwin James who's getting older and is also injury prone? Would somebody take Joey Bosa? For what I mean by that, could you get a high pick for Joey Bosa? Could you get better than a second-round pick for Joey Bosa? So where is this team right now? I'm asking you guys right now as we do this show on October 22nd, because the trade deadline's coming up in about 9 days. Are you guys buying or selling right now to make this team better or to go for the future?
If somebody's trying to buy our trash, you got to sell it, man. Like Joey Bosa to me is okay. This is the thing that drives me nuts about Joey Bosa. I'm watching the game, right? Like we all are. And Tony Romo says, Joey Bosa, he's such an amazing football player. And I look at my girlfriend and I say, where? Like, what does he do? I don't understand why Joey Bosa has this like crazy reputation amongst other people that aren't Charger fans and aren't like watch the Charger games. He's so good. Is it because of his last name and where he was drafted? He doesn't do anything. He look at freaking Chris Jones on the other side. His disruption from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. Joey Bosa is not that guy. I don't understand why everybody, what's Joey Bosa? They're always, whatting Joey Bosa. It's like, dude, I don't know why. I don't get it. Khalil Mack has consistently played better than him this whole year, and he's way older. Thule has outplayed him this entire. If anybody wants Joey Bosa, you can go, dude. Like, seriously, you can go. Keenan Allen, to me, I have no idea why they can't connect. I think there was 9 targets for Keenan Allen today with 4 receptions. One of the incompletions, he was wide open on a double move again in the end zone, and Justin Herbert overthrows him. I don't know what's going on with Keenan Allen. I would keep Keenan Allen for, I just want to be a Charger for life. He's one of my favorite Chargers of all time, and he produces when the ball's thrown his way. But I wouldn't take any of these guys for the long haul. There's nobody on this team besides Justin Herbert that has a big contract that's young-ish that I would keep. None.
Tough game for Bosa. I will stand by it. I don't think he played that bad of a game last week. I will stand by that, but this game was not a good one for him. I think when we go to the deadline, there's maybe a little bit of chance of retool at the pass rushing position. Let's be honest, the contract between Mack and Bosa, one's going to give. And I imagine with the ways that things look right now, you would let go of Bosa, but you would feel Mack out, right? Because Mack is right now 3rd in sacks, and he's having a pretty good year. So you feel that out. You feel like what teams would give for him that are in a kind of win-now mode. People forget, tied for the most sacks in the NFL, Hunter out of Minnesota. Minnesota is taking trade calls. You can retool with that. Let's just say you send Bosa somewhere else. You take a pick. You send that pick over to get Hunter, right? Hunter's on a last leg of his deal. You don't have to re-sign him. We'll see whatever that entails, but you get money off, maybe get money on, sign him. I don't know. Maybe it's a possibility. But the fact of the matter is you can't buy this team. Like you simply, there's nothing to buy. It's a yard sale, and you can't say everything's for free because no one wants it. Like, it's just that's what it is. It's not. There's nothing going good right now. 2 losses in a row, and wins 2 games that could definitely be wins. The only thing I'll say is in that first half, you did put up 17 points on a top 10 defense in the NFL. I guess that's a positive. You mentioned Palmer. Amazing game. I loved everything I saw from Palmer today. Stepped up as wide receiver too. But I mean, should we ride home about this, Dave? Should we ride home about like they dominated that defense in the first half? Like, is that something to write home about, or is that
No.
just yeah? Okay, go off. Yeah,
No, you don't, because they've done this before against KC. The scoreboard's the only thing that matters at the end, right? Andy Reid always plays the long game. Andy Reid always knows that he has it figured out. By the fourth quarter, Andy Reid knows we're going to win. We have better coaches than you. We have better talent that understands our scheme. Look, there's no reason the KC defense is what they're at right now unless they're just that good at player personnel and coaching. Because look, where's Kansas City picking in the draft every year? Kansas City's picking at the bottom every time. And Kansas City keeps going to the Super Bowl. And look, their defense is good. This has nothing to do with Kelce and Mahomes. But yet every guy on that defense outside of basically Chris Jones that does something is a first or second year player. So look, we're all fans of the team. People who are watching, listening to the show right now are fans of the team. Unless you're just a KC jerk right now and you want to see us cry. We aren't. We've never cried once on a show, so you might as well turn it off. Okay? It's not going to happen. But unless you're one of those guys, this is how I feel as a Charger fan. I don't think you're going to get a first-round pick for any of these guys that we just mentioned. Whether it's Keenan, whether it's Mack, whether it's Bosa, whether it's James. You don't get a first-round pick for any of these guys. In the NFL, they hold on to those first-round picks. Go ahead. We're going to say you think you get a first-round pick for somebody?
yeah. I think you get one for Durant. Easy.
I don't think you do. I
Really?
don't think you do. Yeah. How long has Derwin been in the league, and how many times has Derwin been injured? Derwin's missed times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Derwin's a very good
don't
player. I
know.
don't think you get a one. I don't think you get a one. Okay. So what I'm saying is I want them to buy. Show me something. Buy.
Okay.
I want you to buy. And if you aren't going to buy, show me something else. Fire your head coach. The Staley thing's a goddamn joke. We all know it's a joke. It's a big waste of time. It's just stupid every single week. It's a waste of time. The second half right here should have been enough of a sign to say it's not working with Staley. You come out, you put a big goose egg in the third and fourth quarter up on the board against what really is technically a rival now because that's the team you're chasing. You gotta do something. You can't just sit there and have it be November 1st and have the same roster and the same head coach and think things are going to get better because they aren't. Their two teams should fire their head coach today, by the way. Chargers and the Raiders should fire their coach today.
I agree. You don't buy, guys. You don't buy because you're an unserious franchise. Mario said it 2 weeks ago. It's an unserious franchise. If you have Brandon Staley as the head coach, you're not trying to win. So why would you buy players and act like you're trying to win if you have a horrible head coach that's going to do everything in his power to screw up the team? If you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig, right? Tommy Boyette could take a crap in a box and market guaranteed it's still a crap in a box. This team sucks. I would never buy if on this team. There's no chance they win with the head coach. Brandon Staley's defense sucks. I'm sorry, guys. There's no chance you would buy with what we have in place. Next year, we can start over and, we're going to have a really good draft pick because we're not going to have a good record if we continue at this pace. There's only 2 divisions in the NFL that have 3 teams below 500, the AFC West and the NFC North. Funny thing is they've been playing each other all season. It's 2 terrible divisions. The AFC West is such a joke. The Chargers aren't very good. The Raiders are bad. And the Broncos are bad. There's no chance any of these teams compete. So if you're the Chargers, why would you think you can sneak in the playoffs and do any damage? I would absolutely not buy if I was the Chargers. No chance. You sell away the guys that you're not high on or you can get a good return for, but I definitely wouldn't buy.
Yeah, I wonder how that conversation would go with Hebert, right? Like how that goes where it's like, hey,
dude, don't even
You know
get me
what I'm
started
saying?
on
He
that.
wouldn't say,
Okay, fair.
he wouldn't
Don't
say
get me
anything because he
started.
doesn't
All right.
talk. He doesn't
Well-
talk.
I have a couple questions for you guys about Hebert. Well, my first question is, would you guys be surprised if I told you that the Amazon model that they have, that analytical model, had an 88% chance for the Chiefs to win with 9 minutes left in the game when they had the lead?
That's
Would you
awesome.
believe in that? Isn't that hilarious? 9 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
88% chance.
I think it's a good number. Yeah, 88 sounds about right.
Yeah. Could be 99. And I would be like, yeah, Yeah, that's where we're at. All right, with
You
the
know
Herbert thing.
what? Real
You,
quick,
yeah,
real
go ahead.
quick. You know why things aren't going to change, Josh? You know why they aren't going to change is because for them to sell off guys, Telesco would have to say to first Dean would have to go to Telesco and say, I want you to sell guys off and aim for the future. And everyone knows in the NFL, if you're a head coach or GM, hey, I got to win now because I might not be here in the future. They don't care about the future. Everything's about now. Dean's not the kind of guy to go to his GM to say, I'm going to guarantee your job. That, hey, start a rebuilding process for this organization, and I'll guarantee you're going to be around to watch these guys develop. Dean's not going to go to Tom and say that, one, and two, Tom's not going to do it. I mean, I'll give you an example. If Tom actually cared, okay, about himself, I'm watching the Rams game and the Charger game at the same time, and I'm watching Nakua get 8 receptions for 154 yards, and I'm watching Quentin Johnson, everyone celebrating because he had 1 catch for 20 yards, and he was drafted so far ahead, it's ridiculous. It's insane. So if you're Tom and you're trying to look like, hey, I'm trying to save my job because I'm worried, you'd go to Staley and go, dude, you got to find a way to get this guy on the offense. I mean, you're making me look like a horse's ass out here. How do I explain why we drafted this guy number 1 when he never does anything? And yet here they celebrate 1 catch for 20 yards like it's a miracle. And yet the guy who you share the stadium with is a nobody that has 8 receptions for 154 yards, and he does it every week. I don't think you have the owner that has the backbone to do it. I don't think you have the GM who has the backbone. I don't think you have the coach who has the backbone, and you don't have the quarterback who has a backbone. Nobody talks to each other. People just go in and out, just like everything's fine. Everything's going to be okay, and it's never okay.
That's the problem right there. It starts at the very top. Dude, there's so many things you hit on that make me very upset right now. I just want to apologize for saying Tom Telesco was a top 10 GM a few weeks ago. That was the dumbest thing I've said in a while. If I'm Dean, I tell Tom, just get rid of everybody on this team and start over. Like, seriously, start over. And then find somebody to cover your lease because you got to go to. You're not good at this job. You can't
turn the lights out.
The Nakua thing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
The Nakua thing is ridiculous. There's a prime example of a guy in the same city as you and Sean McVay that can get the most out of a 5th-round receiver. And then we treat a 1st-round receiver like he's the kid in Little League that gets 1 at bat and plays 2 innings and gets a hit. You're like, good job, buddy. We never expected this to happen. You're a 1st-round draft pick. We definitely expect that to happen. And then I watch the highlights of these games, and I see Zay Flowers running all over the field. It's like, dude, what the heck are the expectations are for a 1st-round draft pick? Are you not supposed to expect these guys to contribute to the team? It is ridiculous. You thought Mike Williams going out was going to give this guy an opportunity to step up. It just did nothing. Josh Palmer has been the only thing that's come out of this Mike Williams injury that's good. If we could have Josh Palmer as a number 3 with Mike Williams, this might actually be a decent team. The defense still sucks. Tom Telesco's not good at his job. Dean has no backbone. Justin Herbert, I want him to literally break some table or something on the sideline. I like him, like elbow somebody, anything, like throw a fit, anything, show some kind of emotion, dude. Every time they show Justin Herbert with his helmet on top of his head, standing there with his arms crossed, I get so upset. I'm like, dude, Tom Brady would be talking to his team, trying to pump him up, anything. He's always standing by himself on the sideline, getting his passes deflected, even though he's 6'6". Dude, it's the most frustrating team to watch. My one thing when the Chargers would lose, I'd say, well, at least they're fun to watch. I can't even say that anymore. It's not even a fun team to watch.
And the tough thing, too, is literally in my notes for positives, I was trying to think of some positives so we weren't like all negative. And one of them was, did get a one-on-one catch by Johnston. That did show some promise to me. Like, that was a positive. That was positive. A 1 catch in a one-on-one matchup with our 1st-round draft pick. And I was like, okay, I guess there's something there. Like, I guess. I'm fishing. I guess. But in all reality, like you said, Josh, it's frustrating to watch. You've seen Zay Flowers, Puka Nakua. Like, these guys are clearly ready, and they're there, and they're playing phenomenal. You see a guy like even Drake London, who was 2nd year in the league, but you're like, God, if this guy just had a QB, I mean, this guy could be really something special. And you're like, but where's ours? Jordan Addison.
Josh Downs.
I mean, the list can go on, and you're like, God. And then it's just like, but it's not there with Quentin yet, and it's tough. And Josh, I thought of this question. I wanted to ask you it. I had it highlighted 3 times, so I made sure to remind myself. Because sadly, earlier this morning, I killed a lot of brain cells. You mentioned how you wanted Herbert to take more chances. And we still didn't really see that today. Do you think he possibly gets told to not make as many risky throws just because the defense can't back it up. Like where it's like if he makes that risky throw, the defense isn't there to help you the next possession.
So the other side of that is if you don't take a chance, you're not going to score as many points. The defense is still going to give up a bunch of points. Like I don't understand the thinking behind that.
Okay.
Justin Herbert hasn't thrown for 300 yards since September. It's October 22nd. They're supposed to be a top quarterback in the league. Don't give me that he doesn't have enough weapons. Dude, you see guys all the time make the most out of nothing, like Patrick Mahomes hitting guys like Valdez-Scantling and Sky Moore and all these guys you don't expect to do anything. Josh Palmer, if anybody that doesn't believe this, Josh Palmer would be the number one receiver on the Chiefs. Not even a question. I mean, that team has nobody to throw to outside of Travis Kelce. So don't give me Justin Herbert doesn't have enough time. Take some chances. I think today he actually took more chances than usual, but he doesn't use his legs. You look at Patrick Mahomes. One of the more underrated things about Patrick Mahomes' game that people don't give him enough credit for is how many times he gets this close to the line of scrimmage, which, by the way, that blue line, we obviously can see it on the TV. He can't see it. He gets so close to the blue line, and he still gets rid of the ball. Guys wide open down the field. Why can't Justin Herbert attack the line of scrimmage? Why is he always standing back there like a statue and getting taken down, just like Phillip Rivers did? If you don't have legs, I mean, like, dude, you're fast. Run around there. And that's on Kellen Moore, too. Be creative. Get this guy some space to move around so he can throw the ball. I don't understand anything about the offense, Mario. Anything about the offense. Austin Eckler, 2 weeks in a row, nowhere to be found. You can't game plan for Austin Eckler, a guy that's had like 40 touchdowns the last 2 seasons. What are we doing in our free time? So confusing.
I tell you, here's another thing that frustrated me. We liked Drew Tranquil a lot last year, right? We'd come on the show, we'd talk about him, man. That guy busts his ass. The fact that he's just throwaway for the Chiefs drives me nuts, right? I mean, he's a guy that, hey, Drew Tranquil time. All of a sudden he shows up and he's in the game. And you're like, God, this guy was everything to us a year ago. He's nothing to the Kansas City Chiefs. And then, we need that guy. And to Casey, he's such an extra guy. Like, if he was active or inactive, it wouldn't make a difference at all. But when Drew Tranquil came in, he made plays. He had one more tackle than Joey Bosa. He had one more tackle than Khalil Mack. It's frustrating the way the Chiefs are able to get something out of their guys, and we can't. It's interesting. I thought one of the best passes Justin Herbert threw today was the one to Parham at the end. Of course, he dropped it, but it was a great pass. And that was when I thought, well, he took a chance there, and he actually made a great pass. He also, the pass he threw to Everett in the end zone, Everett, I thought, should have caught it. That one, it was a rocket, but it hit him in both hands. And it really was a better pass. When you saw it get an instant replay, you're going, man, that was a really good pass. But when you needed him and he's getting the passes knocked down, there's something that KC saw in the film. And I know people say, look, guys put their hands up all the time when a quarterback's ready to throw the ball. But the KC saw something on Herbert's release that he throws low. He throws small, meaning that they're able to deflect those passes. That's something, man, you got to be aware of. You can't be that quarterback because your passes knocked down all the time. You expect it when you're a small guy like a Bryce Young, but when you're 6'6", dude, your passes shouldn't get knocked down. They just shouldn't.
Not to mention, how many times did Herbert hit the floor today? I mean, the pressure was constant on him all day. That certainly did not help. But you said, Josh, not a game over 300 passing yards since September. 259 against the Chiefs when the opposing QB has over 300 yards in the first half. You're not going to win that game. Not in today's NFL. Maybe in 1992 when you can have a running back and run the ball 1,000 times and you can win that game. That's not going to happen here. There is no way for the Chargers to win this game without Herbert throwing for over 285 passing yards, and he didn't do that, and he fell short. And let's just call it what it is. This is a regression year for Justin Herbert. It is a regression year. This is not an improvement year. This is not a he's arrived year. This is a regression. This is the year you look back on where when you see improvement in his career, you're like, well, it came from this. It came from the 2023 season when he just, one, could not take care of the ball in the fourth quarter to save his freaking life, and then could not lead a 2-minute drill to save his life. I mean, it is ridiculous. Him throwing 2 interceptions, I bet on him to throw an interception today. I wish I would have thrown my whole life savings on it. I would have paid for every future kid I had to go to college today if I would have just unloaded on that, which, gamble responsibly, of course. But, I mean, I'm probably going to do it next time. And I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I think today was another example of a team that's a playoff team and ready versus a team that's not even close. And I think that was a masterclass of it. Josh, I'll ask you this. We have the Bears next week. Chargers just whoop the Bears. Do you get confidence again?
No, Mario, that's beating up on the dumb kid. Like we don't take pride in that. We're supposed to do that.
You're
Sorry.
better than that.
No, and the Drew Tranquil thing, we
Yeah.
can't gloss over that either, man. Hold on. Yeah, we can't gloss over that either. Drew Tranquil, it was so disappointing to see how he was such a stud for us. And like Dave said, he's just one of the many on the Chiefs. That's like hooking up with a girl and you're really proud of it. And then you find out she's a side chick for some other guy. And you're like, damn it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
That's
exactly.
Yeah.
Drew Tranquil is the Chiefs side chick. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Yeah, Justin Herbert, tell me if you've seen this before. He drops back to pass in shotgun, does 3 reads, doesn't really look at anybody, and then gets sacked. It's like, how is there no dump downs? I know we'd always make fun of Lombardi last year for doing 1,000 dump downs, but for God's sakes, get the ball out of his hands. Austin Eckler today had 1 catch. How are you going to get pressured that many times and the back only has 1 catch? How are you not going to dump it off to him? Justin Herbert got sacked 5 times, got hit 8 times. Austin Eckler 1 catch. Austin Eckler's longest run today was 6 yards. 6 on 14 carries. It's not going to get it done, guys. I'm trying to be positive here and say some good things. We have a really good kicker. He never gets on the field. We have a really good kicker, and our punter pinned him within the 5-yard line. That's cool.
Over and over
I don't know
again.
what else to say. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, guys. I mean, it's hard to look for positives right now.
All right, let me say this for anyone, because I already can see these comments in my head of what's going to happen. How we're too tough on Justin Herbert. I want people to go through box scores of the other NFL quarterbacks that you guys consider elite and look at the numbers. I want you to look at Pat Mahomes' numbers. Now, look, we all agree he's the best. 4 touchdowns, 424 yards. What did Herbert throw for today? Who I put him at number 3 behind Burrow at the time when we made our rankings. Lamar Jackson, MVP candidate. Look at his numbers. Look at every quarterback that you consider a top 7 quarterback in this league and look to see what Justin Herbert was compared to those guys. And you go, well, his offensive line. His offensive line of what? You know, I'm watching quarterbacks who take hits all the time. It's the NFL. It's the way it works out. For as much money as you pay these guys to be your stars, we've explained this a bunch of times on the show. In the NFL, there are only about 5 or 6 guys per roster that really make money, like elite money. So you got to be really smart in how you're going to spend it. So if you're going to be the Chargers and you decide where that money goes, I'm not saying Justin Herbert's not a franchise guy. I'm saying he's not playing up to what they're paying him to be. He's not that elite quarterback right now. I don't understand why he's not getting better. What is the issue? Do not write me and say he's on his so-and-so offensive coordinator. Okay, that has nothing to do with it for me. That's just an excuse. So what? He has to learn another language. I got it. What else is he doing? Seriously, that's his job. He has to learn another language. He has, from the time they hired that OC, to learn that other language. You've never heard once that Justin Herbert can't grasp the playbook. So that's not the issue. The issue is he's not leading your team to wins in the fourth quarter. Don't throw that dumb stat at me about his 15 fourth quarter comebacks that we told you that last show. We already explained it. Don't want to go through that again on how that's a dumb stat. You can see with your own eyes of what a championship quarterback is. And right now he's not where he should be. He's not. And it's honestly, I think, a huge reason why this team's not having success. I don't know what the answer is for this team as far as coaching wise goes on who you bring in. I mean, Mario, you love D'Amico Ryans from the Texans and loved how he came in and he changed the whole atmosphere. I don't know. I mean, Vrabel is a whole atmosphere guy too. He doesn't have a great roster either, but he seems to get the most out of his guys. I'm a big believer in offensive coaches. But right now, whatever the Chargers have is not working. To stay with what they're doing is not going to change the problem in the near future. And when you look at KC, you know, I'm hoping this is what I'm putting all my eggs in my basket with. Kelce is 34 years old, that he's going to retire in 3 years. And that all of a sudden the Chiefs aren't as good and Mahomes isn't as good. As Josh said, the receivers on the Chiefs are never that good. The fact they have a guy named Sky Moore drives me crazy. I don't even like his name. I don't like anything about him. I don't like that receiver named Juju. I didn't like anything about that last year either. There's nothing about the Chiefs that's threatening outside of the names that we all know. Chris Jones, Travis Kelce, Pat Mahomes. But that's good enough to win because you have a coach that has a complete grasp of what he's doing. And right now they are as dominating as they have ever been. They're just great. They make us look like fools, and everyone else in the NFL look like fools too. And they're in our division, and they embarrass us twice a year.
Sky Moore wearing 24 is a crime against humanity, by the way, because he looks like a corner. Yeah, it's very, very annoying. Very, very annoying. So if we could go against that, start a petition. I don't know, petition, whatever. Yeah, that word. Quickly, and I'll throw it to you, Josh. Desmond Ridder, Dak Prescott, Sam Howell, Derek Carr, C.J. Stroud, Stafford, Trevor Lawrence are all among the QBs that have all thrown for more passing yards than Justin Herbert this year. In case you're wondering.
That's awful.
Yeah.
People are going to say, oh, he had a bye week. Dude, he hasn't thrown for 300 yards in September. We'll say it again. I don't get it, guys. If you were Justin Herbert, what would you do? Like, seriously, we know he doesn't speak up from what we see, but what would you do? Would you demand anything different? Is there anything he can do? I'm not really sure if his hands are tied here.
I think first off, one thing I would do is after every practice, I would practice throwing the deep ball to Keenan Allen. I would get that under control. Because if I see him not hit Keenan Allen on a freaking wheel route or a seam route and it's too long for him one more time, I am personally just going to shave my head, move to Shelbyville, Indiana, and no one's going to hear from me ever again. It's going to be a very depressing life. My kids can go to Shelbyville. Now, I won't even have kids. I'll just be a sad, weird white man. That's what I'm going to be. So let's figure that out first. So they should probably do that. Yeah, but it's a good point. Like, one, Dave, do you think he has enough control or voice with Tom where like he goes, hey, this is what I need. This is what the direction we need to be going to?
No, I don't. I just think that's his personality. I just think his personality is I'll be a good soldier and go with whatever you guys tell me. That's not how it works in the NFL. That's not how it works with the quarterbacks in this league. And you can come off as a jerk all you want, but you know what? It only gets out if the Chargers let it out that he became a jerk or became too demanding. All that stays inside the building if you let it stay inside the building. But you don't. I mean, from what we see on TV, what the camera shows on the sideline, he's not that guy that gets in guys' faces or rallies guys. He doesn't do anything. He just stands on the side. He doesn't talk to the linemen. You don't see him jumping in with receivers. You don't see when the defense has the ball. We never see any of that stuff. And I'm not saying all that works, but man, it's not working now. It's not working now. You're 2-4. You're so far back of having a chance to win this division right now. It's really disappointing. The way the schedule sets up. Look, it's not the KC game. Everyone thought they were going to lose to KC when they looked at the schedule. The Dallas game kind of showed you what they were. The Dallas game was the mirror of what this team really is. And so the fact that, I want to get into this before we leave too, is that the Bears played so well today against the Raiders, and the Bears are coming to town. It might have been the worst thing to happen to the Chargers that the Bears now believe in themselves coming out to play the Chargers next week, where the Chargers, hey, who knows? The Chargers might have sleptwalked through that game, even though it's a Sunday night game. The Bears right now are on cloud 9, and they said, let's make it 2 in a row. And so this is a bad time to face the Chicago Bears. No one ever says that. But right now, the Chargers should be saying this is a bad time to face the Chicago Bears. That's why, guys, I would shake things up. The only way you can shake things up without just trading everyone and knowing you're going to keep losing games is by getting rid of Staley. You got to make a change. You got to let people in the locker room go, this is not okay with ownership. This is not okay with season ticket holders, that we're going to make a change to shake things up. And the easiest way to do it is to get rid of one guy instead of 53 guys.
Yeah, you got to start with getting rid of Staley. Corey Linsley, we got to talk about that too. Without Corey Linsley being there to anchor the offensive line, they've been dog crap. He is so huge. The center is so huge for the offensive line, and without him in there, they have not been the same. Corey Linsley, hopefully everything is okay with his condition, but the Chargers have not been the same. I've made a list, okay? I wrote down my top 10 coaches in the NFL. Do you think any of these guys are available for the Chargers to hire after this season? All right. Andy Reid, Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDaniel, Sean McVay, Pete Carroll, Dan Campbell. Do you think any of those guys are available? I mean, I'm like, who do the Chargers hire? I don't even know where they look. I don't want Kellen Moore. I want him for the first half, then we can bring in somebody for the second half. Are any of those guys available?
I don't know if Rabel's available, but like it wouldn't surprise me if he wants out. Like, what have they given him? They gave him like Jeffrey Simmons and a bag of peanuts, and we're like, have fun. And Derrick Henry.
They got a new GM.
You know?
They got a new GM, and the new GM, Josh, might honestly say, "I want to make my own mark." New GM
what I'm
has
thinking.
been their first year. That would be your only chance. I'll be honest with you. I'm a big Mike Vrabel fan. Again, defensive side of the ball, motivator, kind of a Dan Campbell type guy. You know what I mean? The guy that gets you all fired up, hits you in practice, wants to put the pads on and show you I can still do all this. I got the guy that I want. You ready? I want Ben Johnson. I want the OC from the Detroit Lions. That's who I want.
Yeah,
Same.
me too.
You do too, Mario? That's the guy you want?
Yes.
All three of us want the same guy? I want him. Look, the Detroit Lions haven't done jack, man, since 1947. They've won one division title. They've won one playoff game since 1957. And yet the Detroit Lions, outside of today, all of a sudden is a team that people fear. Yeah, that's who I want.
What about Eric Bieniemy?
No.
I do not want Eric Bieniemy.
What about Flores?
No, I don't want a defensive guy.
So Ben Johnson's obviously the guy that everybody's been talking about, where he gets to pick where he wants to go. If you're him,
Yeah.
would you want the Chargers? I mean, you get Justin Herbert, but you get a whole bunch
Yes,
of other
okay.
crap with it.
You get a franchise quarterback.
I think it comes down between there or whoever has
Commanders.
first pick. Whoever has first pick. Whoever has love, if he wants it. You know, because it's advertising. Whoever has first pick.
Who has love? What do you mean love?
I mean, Caleb Williams. Whoever gets Williams.
Hey, we could talk about that too. Caleb Williams overrated.
Yeah, I want to get to
I watched
that
the game
too.
yesterday. Dude, Caleb Williams is getting on my absolute last nerve with the whole I want equity thing. How about you worry
Yeah.
about beating Utah? You know, like the whole dude, focus on the now. Caleb Williams
Yeah.
to me is the most overblown player I've heard, maybe ever in college football, where they're talking about how he's the next coming of Patrick Mahomes when he has not. He's still in college. He's not even dominating. He hasn't won anything. He won the Heisman, but he hasn't won anything. What do you guys think about Caleb Williams? Do you think he's overhyped?
Yeah, I do. I'll go first. Yeah, I think Caleb Williams is overhyped. I think he overplayed his hand with that ownership crap he pulled last week, especially the way he played against Notre Dame and the way he played against Utah. Right, and if I'm not mistaken, Josh, he didn't throw a touchdown yesterday in the game against Utah. Yeah, Caleb Williams right now I think has overplayed his hand. Matter of fact, if I was an NFL team, I'd have major concerns about even drafting him. As good as he is, as talented as he is, there are too many people in his head that I don't need that headache. As much as I want Justin Herbert to step up, I don't need you coming in as a young kid saying you run this organization. Those grown men will beat the hell out of you.
He sounds like LeBron James. The only difference is LeBron James is in the league and he dominates now. You're in college. Why would you want that guy coming into your franchise? I don't care if you're a bad team like the Commanders or the Bears or anything. Drake May at least like does his job. Like I'd consider a guy like that, Mario.
Yeah, one thing I will say about Caleb Williams is the antics of that and the so-called list of teams and whether that was true or not true. It's getting old. And you're right, it's getting old quick. Like you said, you're not LeBron, you're not Mahomes, you're not Brady, you are not Rodgers, you are not Josh Allen, you're not Justin Herbert, you're not Joe Burrow, you're not anyone. You are a good college quarterback. There's a lot of good college quarterbacks that were supposed to be hits that just never panned out in the NFL. Baker Mayfield's being one of them. Jamarcus Russell's one of the biggest ones. That can be you. And until you get on that field and get the real NFL speed, that real NFL hit, we'll see how good you're going to be. That being said, I do think that he's an unbelievable talent, and I do think he'll be a great NFL player. I think the thing that got tough is he had 2 bad games, and he's held to such an unbelievable standard that when you have 2 bad games, you're going to get ridiculed. And not to mention, I think this is arguably the deepest probably quarterback class we've seen. Probably in nearly a decade since the Luck RG3 thing. Like Drake May is going to be a really good quarterback. Michael Penix going to be a really good quarterback. Shadir Sanders going to be a really good quarterback. Like and the list goes on. By the way, like some people really like Sam Hartman. I think you should stay the hell away from Sam Hartman. But if floats your boat, floats your boat. And like it's a very deep QB class. Like people like Jordan Travis, people like Jane Daniels, like is insanely deep. And I think that also doesn't help that when you're in a deep class and you're supposed to be this clear cut number one and you have a couple of bad games, you're gonna get docked. And the other thing on that flip side is those other QBs. Penix had a big game and he won it. Drake May had a kind of a tough game this past weekend, but no one really cares about UNC football, so kind of gets something on the rug. I am very annoyed with the Williams antics, but I will say this, and I think we can all agree here that when Staley goes, Chargers got to be the number one most wanted job, right? Like it is the most wanted job.
I'll throw 4 jobs at you, and you tell me which one you would take. Okay, if you could choose: Commanders, Bears, Jets, Chargers.
Chargers, not even close. 100%.
Yeah, Chargers.
Jets would be the only other one I'd consider because you're in New York.
Really?
Your quarterback's going to be 50. You want Aaron? You're going to put your whole career with Aaron Rodgers?
No, I'm assuming he's going to play next year, and they're going to draft a top quarterback this year because the record sucks. You're going to get a good quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know, but at least you have Justin Herbert. That's the why I would. That's the reason.
No, I would definitely go Chargers. But if you're the Jets, you still got like 3 good running backs. You got a really good receiver in Garrett Wilson. Defense is okay sometimes. If you draft a good quarterback, there's something to build on. I would stay the hell away from the Commanders. Stay far away from the Commanders. And I don't know what the Bears. I wouldn't get the Bears either. But they might have the top 2 picks, and that is appealing. So who knows?
I would just say Bears picks is the only appealing thing about that. You get 2 picks, and if you're a little bit of a legend, a little bit of good times, you're a legend there forever. Lovie Smith's considered a legend here, and he's a very average NFL coach. Let me put you in a little sales pitch on Commanders really quickly. Okay, buckle in. Okay, ready? So you get a new owner, so it's a clean slate. New owners tend to want to win now, and will tend to do anything to win. So they'll be very open and going to get said receiver, said running back, said quarterback, said edge rusher, said safety, said corner, whatever. They will be as aggressive as they want to be in order to build the strongest team for you. So in that sense, you go, at least I'm going to get an owner that I was going to go balls to the wall for me to have the best roster that I need to be successful.
You're still the 3rd best team in that division. I mean, it's just it's an uphill battle. I don't think they're ready to give up on Sam Howell either. They seem like they actually kind of like him. I think the Commanders are a mess. The new ownership though is appealing, but that team to me is just not very good. That roster is not very good.
Raiders will be looking for a coach too, but the rumor is it's Jim Harbaugh.
Dude, I would never in a million years take the Raider job. That is a complete mess. Ever. They don't even have money over there.
Do you guys get the Jim Harbaugh love for NFL? Do you guys get that at all?
Yeah, because he did it with the Niners. Because he's won everywhere he's gone. I mean, I understand their winning percentage is insane. To win at Stanford's extremely tough. To win with the 49ers the way he did is kind of ridiculous too. And then to go to Michigan, and I understand the Michigan name, but San Francisco, the Niners were a mess, and his winning percentage was crazy for the NFL. Was absolutely crazy. And Harbaugh has some kind of relationship with the Raiders, where he was a quarterback's coach and was close to the Davis family. Harbaugh's setting himself up in Michigan where he can't even. There's no way they can keep him around after all this stuff that has happened. I mean, Michigan State, the NCAA in Michigan State. You don't even have to play this game today if you don't want to. That's how bad it was as far as all the cheating and everything that's gone on. And anyway, that's
he has a relationship with the Chargers too, by the way. Played on the Chargers.
He did, and he lived in San
Diego. Did you want him
when he was here.
Yes, 100%. Like for everything, he wins.
He's a winner. He's a winner.
Yeah,
and he has no friends, so he's focused on this all the way through.
I love that.
I mean, this is it.
It's a big sell.
Yeah,
guys, less friends, more success.
Yeah. Brandon Staley has so many MySpace friends back in the day. I don't want a guy like that.
Yeah.
No.
He has a lot of yoga friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Goat yoga.
So Mario, before we get out of here, today you did something unusual. You were around you were at the Raiders-Bears game before the Charger game started. What was it like being that close to? You're on the field basically.
It was good. It was a lot of fun. It was a good time. I'll say this: Raider fans, classless people. And if I could ever picture a person that talks smack too early, That is a Raider fan. They talk smack. Wait, they were down when they were down like 21-0. Shout out to the fan that in the midst of all the Bears fans tells everyone to sit down and shut the blank up because DJ Moore dropped the ball and then the next play was a touchdown and got escorted out. So shout out to that guy because I was a preemptive, tried to dunk on the whole area and then just came back and bit him in the butt. That team dies quick, by the way. That team died quick. They lost Andrew on the sideline very, very quickly. And you could tell that it just left it. Bears played with passion. Bears played with heart. Was able to be near Max Crosby. I had a plan of sending him some type of chirp, saying, hey, maybe like watch out. I was gonna make some type of chirp of how like Herbert's his father, but then when I looked at the man and realized that he could probably snap me in half and then throw me all the way to Wisconsin and throw the half all the way to Florida, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit this one out. But next time, Crosby, better look over your freaking shoulder, pal. Yeah. I yelled at Tillery today too. I had a good chirp on him, which was pretty funny.
You said it?
Yeah. Yeah, I said your butt looks small. I thought that was
nice,
a weird one.
Dude.
Yeah, nice. Got in his head.
Yeah, he probably messed up his whole game.
Probably messed with his whole. He didn't play well.
Yeah.
Well,
he's going to play really good if you didn't say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Quote of the day, by the way. Quote of the day. We talked about this, how like they don't use Renfro anymore. And the person I was with, his father's on the coaching staff. And I just go, so do they just really like not think Renfro's good anymore? Like just joking. And he just looked at me very serious. He goes, yes. I go, okay. Well, good to know. It's good to know.
Wow. I'll take him.
Yeah. So
I don't even understand what the hell's going on, Josh McDaniels. Unbelievable. You'd think with all the guys that he had in the past that were like Renfro, that Renfro would.
What do you mean like Renfro? What do you mean by that? What do you mean like Renfro?
Yeah.
Guys that play the slot. Like guys like Wes Welker, Edelman. Yeah, slot guys.
Amendola. Yeah.
Shorts.
I met him today.
Slot guys. I don't know what you're talking about. What, am I wrong?
No, you're right.
No, you're right.
All right. Don't bring race into this. We got enough problems as there is. All right, we'll be back in 2 days. We're going to go through our picks. And if you listen to any of our picks last week, I apologize right now because I'm not sure I even said one of them right. We've had a good year, though. We've had a good year. Just it's been a bad week for the Chargers. It's been a bad week for the three of us. We'll be back on Tuesday. We're going to get ready for the Bears game. God dang it, man. Hopefully things feel a little bit better in about 48 hours. But we'll be back. Again, thank you for watching on YouTube, leaving the comments. The subscribers going up, and you guys following the show, man. Really appreciate that. Again, if you listen through Odyssey, thank you very much. Bolt City Podcast through Odyssey. And if you, of course, you watch and you listen through YouTube, that's awesome too. We did have something because I can't remember. What the hell were we going to say about YouTube that we were going to we're going to start bringing back? But hell, I can't remember. We're going to give a comment of the day thing. We're going to start sending stuff out to people that leave comments, the comment that we chose. But we'll have more about that because I don't have the details and I can't remember. Go ahead, unless you remember, Mario. Go ahead. Do you remember?
No, it was something along those lines. We're going to do a comment of the day. Comment of the day. We'll send you it was like a Charger t-shirt or something. It was like something along those lines.
We'll start sending you some gear. We'll figure it out. Don't just write a comment because you're trying to get a shirt. But if you have a comment, we read them all for sure. Even when you yell at us and all that, we love those too. But we'll have more information for you in a couple of days and all that. Also, I want to talk more, guys, about what you would do as far as we get closer to the trade deadline and like start looking at who this team should add. We'll talk about all that stuff in 48 hours. Again, thanks for listening to the Bolt City Podcast. For Mario Herron, Josh Palais, I'm Dave Palais. We'll talk to you in a couple of days, everybody.